It looks like I'm live. Let me check LinkedIn. Come on, Restream. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I am live. Hello, everyone. I'm Sudha Jamte, and this is SudhaLive. I'm very happy to meet my students. It's my special time of the month. So usually I meet you on SudhaLive once a month. For those of you who are new, I'm Sudha Jamte. I'm a technology futurist and educator, and you must have taken one of my many AI and AIX design or AGI courses that I teach in a fun way using autonomous vehicles and all with no code. So I like to meet my students this time, middle of the month on Wednesday mornings, once a month. And then 2 weeks out, I'll do a discussion or a talk with an expert at an event called Weekly Wed. Okay, so I'm going to take questions from LinkedIn. I see it's live. Okay, we are live. Okay, so if you are here on LinkedIn, I see just the numbers, so feel free to introduce yourself or ask me a question. I'd like to know if you have taken any of my courses and what course you have taken. Do you have any questions? I'm seeing a lot of shared certificates as people are finishing up the courses. It's always fun to see my students. I don't get to always see the notification because you might be like the degree separation from me. I just saw Lavanya Narayan just did a course. Let me see. Said designing agentic AI products just a couple days back. Welcome, Lavanya Narayan, to the team. So for those of you who are new, my learner community is called Business School of AI. I'm just going to go there. So the easiest way is to find Business School of AI on LinkedIn, but some people prefer a website. So you can go to the website and then go to our many places too. So here you can see the list of courses. So if you have taken one of my courses, I have about 8 or 9 courses on LinkedIn. So if you've taken any of my courses, then you can decide, okay, I took a no-code AI course now. Maybe I want to take the next advanced level course, or I want to learn about AI trends. AI trends is a course that it's not just from me, but from many experts from the LinkedIn learning instructor group. And my specialty is autonomous vehicles and devices. So I love to bring courses on how do you actually get that thing moving, be it a speaker, be it a camera. How do you, look at AI on the edge? How do you think about data on the edge? How do you even think about AI in connected products is a very basic course on this. And then all my courses are hands-on. So I'll teach you machine learning or computer vision and how to go or voice and do some fun exercises. You have to do hands-on exercises using no code to get the LinkedIn certificate. But I'm here to talk to you to take this to the next level, right? Think about how do you grow your career. If you've done any of the courses from me or anywhere else, it doesn't matter. What are you looking at when you bring that to work? When you want to grow your career, is that working the way you want it to? What are you seeing? And I have students, I have about 100,000 students just from LinkedIn. So one of the things I went to show you, let me go back, share the site again. You can actually join Business School of AI on LinkedIn. That's easy because LM from my team posts little clips of lessons, events, and opportunities and everything. But I wanted to show you an easy way to look at the community. So if you're working in a certain industry and you want to say, are there other people in the industry who are going through similar problems like me? Or if you want to hire a smart person in a specific industry. So this is a showcase of my students from around the world. This is only the people who have shared, communicated with me, connected with me, or shared their certificates, and I have permission. So I have like maybe 100 students showing here. If you want to be part of the showcase, you can actually go to Business School of AI, click on community, see who these people are, find other people to collaborate, or if you're, running into an issue in, say, healthcare, and you've learned this, or you are in Nigeria and you're looking for a specific governance question. So you can find, fellow learners right from here who are professional leaders like you. And if you want to be included in the showcase, then you just click here and there's a form, and then you can just sign up. It won't show up live, but as soon as we verify that it's, a legitimate person, then I will add them. Right now, I have only the LinkedIn list of courses showing as to what courses you have taken, but I will add other courses from Stanford or Barcelona Technology School or Elisabeth, other places where I've taught in the past. Okay, I'm going back to LinkedIn. So today, the topic I promised you is called software-defined vehicles. I want to so I see the number of people here. I don't know what your background is. So I don't know whether you come from a software-defined vehicle space or autonomous vehicle space or even automotive or car space. So if you know what is software-defined vehicle or you want to take a guess, feel free to add a comment. Otherwise, I am going to continue on and give people a little time to answer that question. Okay. Where was I? So the other thing is this month is an exciting time because it's International Women's Month. And so we see a lot of showcase of exciting inspirational leaders, women who have inspired everyone. So I'm seeing a lot of posts. I do that too this time of the year. I did a small showcase. I do a project called Women's Planning. I'm going to bring that up. And those who are joining, think about what is software-defined vehicle, because I want to hear your definition of it before I go show you mine, okay? Just give me a minute. So for International Women's Day, Elam from my team helped me compile a beautiful montage of some of the women who inspire me. For me, this time of the year, always, in March, I'm thinking about the various students, various people who in my life who have contributed to teach me something, who inspire me. So there's a bunch of women I've tagged here. This is part of the Women's Planning Project. And if you can click this link, you can go to the YouTube link. And each of these women have shown taken 2 minutes to explain a topic where they are the experts on. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Give me a minute. Happy International Women's Day. I'm excited to bring you my annual collection of women's planning videos from amazing, wonderful women who create role models for all of us from around the world. My name is Angel. My name is Cynthia Sanjao. My name is Sandra Mark. I'm Marta Pablos. I'm Fatma Zafar Malik. My name is Ruth Miller. My name is Jennifer. I'm Paula, and I'm from Colombia. My name is Alejandra Santos. I'm Viola. I'm Jessica Grootman. I'm an industry analyst. Pragati Rai. I'm a UX designer. I work in the communications industry for more than 15 years now. I'm a linguist and an independent researcher. Today, I want to talk to you about machine translation, how machine translate one human language into another. And today I'm going to explain a core way AI is used in finance. Algorithmic trading. For generations, many languages have used masculine terms of speech. Algorithmic trading uses quantitative analysis to bypass human hesitation. But fundamentally, what I think we have to reckon with when it comes to AI is that current AI is only as smart as the data and context that it has seen. Humans speak more than 7,000 languages and computers speak just one, zeros and ones. So how does something that only understands math understands us? On International Women's Day, this matters deeply because when languages limit women, my work is giving an impact to people. Today, as we celebrate International Women's Day, we honor achievements, resilience, and progress. Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. I love what Elam did in the end with the logo, so you need to see that. Okay, so if you see this post, it's right on my profile. You will see the amazing women, and I would recommend following every one of them. There are some of them who are not here directly tagged because they don't allow tagging on LinkedIn, but their women's planning videos are right here in the playlist. And what I do following this in March is get ready with a team of people who are as crazy as me to showcase brilliant experts from around the world. And we launch off a series that we've been doing for past 8 years called IoT Women on IoT Day. So does anyone know when is World IoT Day? Um, Let me see. So the World IoT Day, yes, it is always on April 9th. And that was done by this person, Rob Van Kranenberg. I would recommend if you work on um, devices space or IoT space or anything related to looking at how the world is changing with data or AI and connected products or even compliance and very futuristic ideas about identity that comes from our devices, then I would recommend following Robin Cranenberg because he's the founder of EU IoT Council. And he set up this April 9th as IoT Day, as a day for us from around the world. You could be in academics, you could be a startup person, you could be working for a company, you might be a student getting started. And I have a lot of professors who are working in this space who are interested in AI, IoT, connected devices, and they host events from around the world, local events, meetups, even small coffee gatherings. And then there are large, huge events in industrial IoT and the like. So that's what I do on April 9th is World IoT Day, and I host all women speaker series as a live stream for 24 hours. You heard that right. It's for 24 hours from wherever it is, April 9th in the morning the other side of the world. I'm here in Silicon Valley. So my evening on April 8th, we kick this off, and then it goes all the way till the evening 5 o'clock from on here in west coast of US. So you look out for it. I will be posting, and Business School of AI call for nominations for 24 amazing women. And we try to bring new women. These are not like favors that I just call on people I already know, but people who truly inspire me and teach my learners something. So if you are my learner and if there's a burning topic saying, I've learned this topic, but I don't know how to make this work in this industry, or I'm trying to learn this new topic, or, whatever challenges you're facing, if you will message on Business School of AI, or you've already shared, or if you want to come to Weekly Wed and talk to us there. Weekly Wed, we do this, we don't live stream it, we put it in a Zoom session, like a classroom, and you can ask questions from the expert. So for International Women's Day, you saw the women's planning list. Go watch it because I keep adding more videos to that list. But for IoT Day, I'll be calling a nomination, and we will be picking 24 women from around the world because we do this in all possible time zones. I've hit about 16 time zones max, but every possible country, we want to create role models with these women, and they are the experts on top of their field. So this year, I've already started hearing from people saying we want to nominate somebody in neuroscience, somebody in space science, and things like that. So it's not limited to IoT. IoT is touching us everywhere. So, don't think of it as, do I work in IoT? Because IoT is not a word that is owned by one industry. So if you work in AI, data, technology industry in any form, you're going to be qualifying for it, and look out for the nomination. So with that, I want to bring us to the topic of the day, software-defined vehicles. Okay. So for those of you who have taken my courses on autonomous vehicle, a software-defined vehicle is a path towards autonomous vehicles. So when we were learning about autonomous vehicles, so I think in 2017, I did the course on autonomous vehicle at Stanford, and I wrote the book 2030, The Driverless World. At that time, we were saying, hey, there are 5 levels of autonomy. The existing car has 0 level of autonomy, which means humans drive it, car cannot have any intelligence to drive itself. The car has been on a path towards digitization, for many decades. Even before 2017, there has been electronics in the car for infotainment, entertainment, and things like that, right? And then now we can connect apps to the car using Apple Play. Or I remember a student of mine who basically said, hey, I am building the OS in the car. And so that is where we have come to today. And this is not about, it is not that a software-defined vehicle is an autonomous vehicle, but autonomous vehicle has to be a software-defined vehicle. So let's take a step back. Let me make it simple because you're going to add a comment only in the chat. So is a connected car the same as a software-defined vehicle? So let me post that here. Connected car versus software-defined vehicle. Are they one and the same? So you don't need to be exactly working in this particular field, but if you are seeing that it is a connected car, if you're hearing about a connected car, you can tell me whether a connected car is an autonomous, comment. So it's my own voice because I reloaded to see some of your comments. Let me see the comments here. Okay, so a connected car means the car has connectivity to the internet. So these days, all the cars that are built come with internet connectivity. That means they have some kind of SIM card like your cell phone. We don't think about it, we don't talk about it because we don't see the data. We don't see what value we are getting from the data. So that doesn't mean the car doesn't have data. So there is a person who is called Data Diva. So I would say you should follow her. She's a brilliant person, and she follows the space on data in general, data and in the AI space and devices and everything. So I can look it up if you're interested in that. Her name is Debbie Reynolds. I'm just going to, but she goes by Data Diva because she truly is an expert. She truly is an expert in the data space. Okay, so Debbie Reynolds had done a session for us at Weekly Wed, and she actually came and spoke to us about a Mozilla project. Is Data Diva data? I'm just writing a comment here. Follow her about data in the car. So if you're thinking about cars are connected, that means they have internet connectivity, and 100% of the cars that are built today come with a SIM card, and they do have data connectivity. And that means they have some way of generating data, and then they do something with the data. So that is a whole topic. If that is of interest to you, first follow Debbie Reynolds. Debbie Reynolds will, does a lot of sessions and stuff, so you will learn about data in general, especially in the enterprise space. But she also does everything with an ethical lens. I love that about her. So she had spoken about a Mozilla project where they said, what is the data in the car? How much of it is ethical? How much of it follows GDPR? What kind of things are done with this data in the car? So that's a very fascinating conversation about connected cars. So connected cars means the cars get connected to the internet, and by virtue of that, they are doing something with data. They're using that connectivity to send the data in the crowd. Can you imagine what kind of things are being done with connectivity to the crowd? One easy thing is that they're sending the data from the cameras. A lot of cars have cameras, and that data is used to learn about the road, especially for autonomous vehicles. They're building AI data about different roads so that they can train the AI, the car cognition part of AI, to drive autonomously. But what about normal cars? Forget about autonomous vehicles for a minute. What kind of data is collected in our cars and what is it doing? So today, a lot of cars have autonomous vehicle features, which is known as ADAS. Does anyone work with ADAS here? Do you know what is ADAS? ADAS is basically some autonomous vehicle features, you don't even think of it as autonomous, you don't think of it as AI, but autonomous vehicle features that are capabilities that are added to the car. So when you're driving, if you get too close to another car, sometimes your car would beep. When you're driving, if you don't stay within the lane, the basic keeping the car within a lane is the very basic 101 of autonomous vehicle technology. And those are baked into regular cars as ADAS features. So you should be staying in your lane. You should not be drowsy and veering off your lane. And the car might beep, or your steering wheel might pull you back into the lane. So those are two different experiences. So if you have taken my AIX design course, you will understand the difference between this is a design experience that is consciously done by the automaker, and whether the car makes the decision for you to pull you back in, or whether it notifies you, other than it being a design decision, is also defining the level of autonomy that the car has. So the more automated decisions are being done by the car, that means the car has more higher level of autonomous vehicle capabilities in the car. So if it is pulling you out of the lane, it is making that decision for you. And some cars have it, some cars don't have it. So when you drive your car next time, you'll be able to see it. Or if you're test driving a car, just check this feature, how it is doing that. And nowadays we have cameras which help you, navigate whether there are cars around you, behind you, we are getting too close. Even ordinary cars which have nothing about AI or autonomous vehicle, look for traffic signals. And if your traffic light is on, or it says, hey, the car in front of you has moved ahead, things like that. You can see that even in the Kia, which is not even touting as autonomous vehicle. And, it's a good car which does not, which gives you regular controls like that. So coming to software-defined vehicles. So all cars are connected. And by being connected, they send data to the internet. They do something with the data, which is the user experience, and AIX design comes in. How automated it is defines the level of autonomy that is baked into the car. So a software defined, does that mean it's all autonomous? So earlier when we got started, I had a question whether an autonomous vehicle is a software defined vehicle, or a software defined vehicle is an autonomous vehicle. So software-defined vehicle means it has a software architecture. For those of you who have taken my courses in the past or work in automotive space, know that there's a lot of ECUs, or electronic control units, that were available in the cars. Even like older cars still have many, many ECUs. An ECU is a control unit, a hardware control unit that controls, say, the speaker system. Nowadays they're replacing the mirrors with cameras in the car. I think Volvo started that some years back. And the camera that is going to look at the back of the car, side of the car, collecting that data, needs some kind of electronic control unit, so that there would be an ECU for it. You have like tier 1, tier 2 OEMs who are supporting the inside of the car, like a speaker system, right? So then they will have their own ECU. Bosch has several different sensors in the car. They will have their multiple ECUs in the car. So each of this was electronic control units, and they did their one piece. Then they all had to be brought together, but it was all hardware, right? Each of it was controlling a piece of hardware. And nowadays, that has a OS layer or a software architecture. And there are not so many ECUs. There was a process to kind of, digitize and build containers for Edge AI and reduce the number of ECUs. And that is what has happened over the last 10 years. There is a software-defined architecture, and that is what is the software-defined vehicle. It's not an autonomous vehicle. To run an autonomous vehicle, you need a software-defined architecture. But a software-defined architecture in a vehicle does not make it an autonomous vehicle. So that's the difference. So what is the software-defined architecture, other than, okay, the ECUs are hardware, now it is all software? What does that mean? So a software-defined architecture is going to have a centralized unit. First, it's connected. We spoke about that. We spoke about how it is not, all autonomous vehicle, but it basically has a centralized computing architecture. And then we must have seen as soon as we have software, including our phones, we get over-the-air updates. So any change that needs to be done in the vehicle performance or even bug fixes, new features, or most common thing you see is about security issues, and then there's immediate fixes that comes even on our phones. All that comes on a over-the-air update. So a software-defined architecture is going to have a centralized architecture, which is like a SoC in the IoT world, but it's a centralized computing architecture over there update. And there's going to be a layered software stack, almost like an OS layer, a data layer, multiple layers that is added to the car. And then there's AI-enabled features. So the AI is not the center of software-defined vehicles, but there's going to be AI-enabled features that is added to the design of the software architecture. So that is what makes the software-defined vehicle. And I don't know if anybody here is working in the AI in the automotive space, but essentially it is about embedded technology in automotives. That's what we are getting from software-defined vehicles. I want to see whether there are any more questions in this area, because I want to kind of move to another topic. So we spoke about vehicles have to be connected. Connected vehicles have data, and then the data is sent to the cloud to do something. We talked about ADAS features, that is autonomous vehicle features that's added to the cars. And the difference between a connected vehicle and a software-defined vehicle, and a difference between a software-defined vehicle and an autonomous vehicle, and the layers of the software-defined architecture. And they are essentially embedded technologies in today's automotive. And the next step of it, what do you think would be the next step of it? So you've understood what are software-defined vehicles, and we understand that it has multiple layers, and there's OS and the over-there update and all that stuff that we spoke about. So if you have taken my Edge AI course, I've actually given you the layers of Edge AI. And one of the things, if you remember, there is an OS layer. Let me find. So I don't need to go to multiple places. I showed you can go to Business School of AI for everything. So in there is a link for courses. I'm just going to go take a shortcut from here. Come on, share my screen. So I left it at this global community of my learners. I'm going to go to my courses link, and you can see the multiple courses, and I'm trying to get to my Edge AI course. So obviously, it will make you take a log into LinkedIn to do that. So in the Edge AI course, again, if anyone is interested in this particular lesson, I always do this. I'm happy to give you a free copy, free access that you can audit the course or the whole course or a specific lesson in here. So in Edge AI course, this is learning Edge AI using autonomous vehicle. So I'm using autonomous vehicle as the example, and then essentially I'm teaching you Edge AI. So then I do exercises with the video on the edge and voice on the edge and things like that. So in this section where we spoke about software on wheels, I essentially spoke about this software-defined architecture. I didn't call it exactly software-defined architecture, but I talked about the software in the car as software on wheels, and it is OS in the car, data from the sensor fusion, and the AI layer. And then we went into the great details of all of that. So if this is of interest, I'm happy to share that particular link. So that brings us to, okay, so if this is like an edge device, it could be a robotic arm, it could be a manufacturing arm, it could be a camera watching whether your your production inventory, it's counting, or it is seeing for a defect in manufacturing. It could be, or it could be, in healthcare, many of the devices, we don't realize when we go to a hospital how many IoT devices are there. Everything is sensor based and moving and monitoring. Or it could be like moving things like an AMR or autonomous vehicle, a mobility robot or vehicle inside a warehouse carrying heavy stuff. So mobility of things is where a lot of value happens with the devices. Or it is monitoring for us to help us to count and move things, fast, like production things. So when we are thinking about edge AI use cases like that, we've been talking about what is edge AI in the course. And recently at Weekly Wed, we had Sneha Jadhav come in and talk about what are the challenges with deploying edge AI. We didn't talk about deploying edge AI yet. We just spoke about what are the challenges in deploying edge AI. And to deploy edge AI, one key technology is containerization. So if anybody works in virtualization, let me see, do you work in virtualization? Yes or no? You can tell me. Then you'll be able to answer this question. So when we're talking about software-defined vehicle, one of the key components of it, so we spoke about there is an OS layer, there is a centralized computing, all the different hardware components are managed by software, and there's a lot of data. So there's bringing the data, doing sensor fusion from the various data management, deciding what stays on the edge, what goes to the cloud. All of that is happening. Over the air update is happening. A lot of cyber security checks and that is happening. So data privacy, data mobility, cyber security, all of that is happening. And then there is one more component for software defined vehicle. I'm just going to look for my notes here. So one more piece that is happening. Actually, there's two more pieces. One is V2X, which is in a typical autonomous vehicle. There's communication from the vehicle to the dealer network to the traffic network. Think about it. Your traffic is monitored using cameras, and that is again connected to the internet for the most part. And that communication between the vehicle and the traffic lights and that network is a V2I infrastructure. So V2X is communication across multiple devices that happens in the autonomous vehicle space. And in software-defined architecture, that communication is happening between the different components. So that is another piece of software-defined architecture. So the V2X component is also that, right? But the other thing is, there's one more piece. I just gave you a clue when I was talking about containerization, is virtualization. So those of you who are familiar with this topic can answer it. Otherwise, it's not anything, because I'm introducing this topic newly to you. So so can somebody tell me what is the difference between simulation? Let me get my notes here. So we spoke about connected vehicle, we spoke about the centralized control, multiple ECUs are now, reduced down, over their update, V2X communication, and the cars are connected and electric by default because they're leading towards autonomous. There's a role for AI, but that's not the central premise of software-defined vehicles. I spoke about V2X communication. The last topic in this related to software-defined vehicles is, tell me whether simulation and virtualization, are they one and the same? Simulation versus virtualization, are they the same? So what is simulation? So for people who are working in virtualization space, virtualization means you're going to be able to run a copy of a device in a different environment. So it could be for safety, it could be just especially if you work in big companies, your device is virtualized, and so they control what software runs in it. IT will say, I'm going to give you a virtualized environment so that you can do your job just with the technologies you need. We're just not going to connect it to the internet for security reasons. So you see that is virtualization. Simulation looks like it is similar, but it is not. Simulation means you are actually simulating a what if scenarios of what will happen. So in software defined architecture, software defined vehicles, one of the pieces is simulation, and where what they do is they actually look at simulation of various different components. How will they operate in different scenarios? And then based on that, they can come up with a better design and improve the design and give you exactly what you want. And so that is one thing that happens. Simulation is an important part. So for those of you who have worked with me and taken my digital twins course in the past with autonomous vehicle, is simulation the same as simulation versus digital twins? Are they the one and the same? So I'm going to call out Mr. Varga here because he is an expert in the space. So I would recommend following Alexander Varga. Let me find him, Digital Twins, because he did a course with me. Let me find him, Varga, so you can follow him. Alexander Varga. Let me make sure I have the right spelling so I can bring that to you. Follow Mr. Varga right here. So I've just tagged him here so you can find him, and hopefully he'll also come here and answer any questions if you have anything related to digital twins in autonomous vehicles. So the question I asked first was simulation versus virtualization. Is it one and the same? We spoke about how virtualization creates an entire machine environment as if you're running this computer in a different place remotely. Simulation is you're just simulating how will this hardware behave. If I do this design, how will the experience be for the customer? And you could do that for a Bosch speaker design. It could be for adding new cameras. You could create a lot of different things. So the next question I asked you is simulation. Is simulation the same as digital twins? Digital twins and simulation have a lot of overlap. Simulation is used to run what if scenarios, and digital twins is going to create a complete digital replica of all the different hardware, whatever you're creating the digital twins for. So there are 3 digital twins in the car, in an autonomous vehicle, and one of them is about the different components of the car. So when we're talking about software-defined vehicles, we're just talking about the components of the car are controlled by software. So to wrap it up on software-defined vehicles, there is a centralized computing unit, over-the-air update, V2X, simulation, and of course the car is connected, and with it comes data, and with data comes AI. And the AI is not the central driver of software-defined vehicles. It is the software itself. And the AI could be, using the data that is in the car to create some experiences in the car. It could be machine learning to create a personalized experience. It could be running predictive maintenance or the car parts based on the wear and tear, and it collects real-time data. And based on that, it could be predicting whether a brake is going to fail, or there's a need for a recall, or anything like that. The engine is heating up more than they expected in the original design, things like that. So that is where a digital twin comes in and a simulation comes in. A simulation environment is part of the software vehicle stack. So I've covered a lot about software-defined vehicles. Usually in SudhaLive, I don't go into this full lesson on one topic. I've done that for you today. So if you're coming back and looking at this, you can add questions. And I've tagged important people who are experts in the field who will have answers for you. So if you have questions, you can still post that. If it shows up in my notification, I think in a day or two it will. I'm happy to follow up and do that. If you're looking at this as a new topic, if this is of interest to you, we can talk more. The next weekly WED is on the 25th. So immediately what you will see from me is a call for notification for this IoT women that I was telling you about earlier in our when we opened up. So you look out for that. And the nomination can be done by anyone. You could be a woman who's nominating yourself, or you could be a guy, one of the amazing people who shared, who are the women who inspired you on International Women's Day. This is a call for you, and you can nominate a woman who inspires you. Could be your boss, could be your colleague, could be your family, anyone for their professional expertise. And I want as diverse set of people so that we can continue to do what we've been doing for the past 8 years with IoT Day, IoT Women. So look out for that. That'll be coming from me. And if you are following Business School of AI, you can automatically see that. The other thing is 25th March is weekly WED with an amazing person, a new person that you have not seen before with us. And we are going to cover a very different topic. We are going to cover a research about we're going to review 5 different research papers which are impacting women and policy from around the world. It is about, labor markets. It is about the invisible workforce, or what they call as the sandwich generation in the Philippines. It's a very global paper. It's talking about transportation, or the hidden cost of transportation. And I learned a new word called transportation poverty. In all my autonomous vehicle courses and the general car courses, I've been talking about mobility. Even my AI courses, I teach using public data. And this is like variety of different papers, 5 different papers covering how it affects how it has impacted policy making, how it has impacted women. It is pure research papers. So if you are interested in research, this will be an interesting topic for you. If you're interested in women, gender equality, or various regions we are talking about, if you are, especially I tell my students, and I had somebody here ask me last time, how do you get started? You learn this thing from a course. Now, how do you apply this? What is the starting point? And you have to be passionate about a problem you want to solve, either in your own industry or in your world around you. And so this gives you an opportunity to think about different problems that you didn't think about. So when you're thinking about cars, I tend to talk about autonomous vehicle, but simple mobility for different regions, all the different shared, the bikes and everything came about as a whole industry. Ride sharing started because of the need for mobility equitably. So it can spark a lot of innovative thinking, and you will see different industries and where the opportunities are for you to do something to enhance your career too. So I will encourage you to join weekly WED. And those of you who are already on my weekly WED list, my prior students would actually be able to come. Again, you can go to Business School of AI and find the link. I'm going to add that here for the lovely people who are already here. Let me put that. I actually keep putting #weekly, but I've been doing that for a while. So I think you should be able to find weekly WED from there. Okay, so this is the link for weekly WED, and that should give you the Zoom link. And if you're already on that list, you will get the Zoom link, and you'll also get like the download of the deck or anything else related to the speaker's topic based on different speakers. Some of them share the deck, some of them have open conversation. I want to share the paper I was telling you about. Let me find that. So if you are one of those people who likes to be prepared and read the paper and then come with questions, it's even better, right? So let me come back, find the paper, and then share it. Oh, I found it here. Research paper. So that's this one. So I've linked it here. So if you want, you can look at this and see if this topic is of interest. And we are going to have Leah, who wrote the blog about this. She does amazingly magical storytelling. Research papers are especially hard for you to read because it's full of data and it's a certain academic language. Everybody doesn't know to do that. So she has this magic of synthesizing that and tell you a story, and we're going to have a discussion around that. So I'm going to personally host that. Usually Deepika Sarkar from my team is the one who hosts the weekly Wednesdays, but I'm very excited to talk to Leah. So you're going to be seeing more of me in a couple of weeks now. So with that, we are reaching the end of our hour here. So I want to see if there are any lurking questions. Bear with me. I'm going to reload. That's the only way I'm able to see this notification. It's so crazy. And it's a certain academic language. Everybody doesn't know how to do that. So every time I reload, I get to see your questions. And then when I reload, it actually brings it back with the audio on. It's so crazy to hear my own voice like that. Okay, so thank you for those of you who joined here. I still see numbers. We spoke about software-defined vehicles. I showed you the International Women's Day montage of women from the women's planning videos. So if you want to go learn, and they've covered all topics. They've, especially if you're new to AI, it covers AI, deep learning. There's even one on imposter syndrome. So there's a lot of interesting topics. You can scroll to it's just 2 minutes video. So that's very fantastic. I would recommend doing that. So we spoke about um, International Women's Day and the Women's Planning List. That's how we started. I promised that I'm going to come back with a call for nomination for IoT Day, IoT Women, and then bulk of our session today. For those of you, I see the numbers go up, you're coming in. Maybe it's because of the time zone that you're joining in late time. So sorry, US did time change. So I've started this an hour earlier and I'm almost wrapping up. We spoke about software-defined vehicles. And I covered what is software-defined vehicles, how connected vehicle versus software-defined vehicles, software-defined vehicle versus autonomous vehicle, then the different layers of the software vehicle, the software-defined vehicle, centralized computing, over-the-air updates, V2X, all the different modules in there. And then I spoke about simulation, and I spoke about simulation. I said simulation versus virtualization. So if I missed you because of the time zone, I apologize. We're going to stick to this 9 o'clock, even for weekly WED, 9 o'clock Pacific time, which is kind of, got an hour closer to the world now, rest of the world. You can come back, watch this recording. I'll come back and see if you have questions. So I was just telling you, sharing the research paper about what we will be having a conversation about on weekly WED in a Zoom session on the 25th. That is 2 Wednesdays from now. And if you're not following this already, you should follow the Limitless newsletter right here, which is where my Limitless newsletter. So that there I give you all the upcoming events. I even have jobs and opportunities listed in there. So be sure to follow that. The March newsletter, Limitless newsletter, just dropped this Monday. So you should have a lot more details about the upcoming weekly WED. If the software-defined vehicle topic is of interest, just add a comment. If you have questions, add it too. I'll come back, look at it, and I can give you more information about this, or we can build on this, bring a speaker, we can, do more about that. And especially if you have taken my AIoT, which is AI in Internet of Things, or AIX design using autonomous vehicles, or my Edge AI course, this would be of interest to you. So check it out. This is like a next step to go into automotive industry or into embedded devices and do something with it to create a software architecture for mobility. So, and I want to congratulate Claire, congratulate Claire, Claire Longo on her new job. She was our speaker at IoT Women last year. Oh, you want to know where's the IoT Women? Let me give you that. So it is, if you go to Business School of AI, schoolofai.com/IoT Women. So that is where you will see about the IoT Women for IoT Day. And in fact, you can see the past sessions of the last 8 years on IoT Day. So that will be IoT Women will be on IoT Day, April 9th, as a 24-hour live stream. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for everyone for joining me. And if you have any questions, add a question or comment. Be sure to tag a friend, especially if the software-defined vehicle topic is interesting for somebody who will benefit or enhance their career or learning. Tag them. And if you ask a question, I'll come and check for notification. And I've tagged Data Diva, I've tagged Mr. Varga, and you can learn from them too. So we'll be sure to answer your questions. So with that, I want to wrap up. We are at the top of our hour. Thank you everyone for joining me. I appreciate it. And I will see you at Weekly Wed on the 25th, or else I'll see you at the next SudhaLive, or I'll see you online at Business School of AI, right here on LinkedIn. Okay. Bye now. Take care.